My name is Makavelo Motaung, also known as Coach KB. I'm your social and dating coach and your host for this feature today. Not today, every day actually. This is a daily feature that I run on my timeline. Obviously, where I talk to black men from different backgrounds about anything that affects them, and their outlook on life, dating, mujolo, batung, manyalo, the sex. This is the space to talk about that. And today, my guest is Botsangi Muila. Hi, Botsang, how do I say your surname? Muilwa.
That's a royal surname. You must say it properly. It's Moiloa.
Muilwa, Botsang Muilwa, yeah. Botsang, you must behave. This is my space. It's Santo Mamele Namo. When I thought of bringing you as a guest, I'm like, hey, hey, Botsang is out of order, man.
I'm only out of order when it's politics, but you are talking love and romance and mujolo, so I can't be out of order. I behave in that department.
Is it? I trust you, Faye.
You can
Botsang,
ask.
introduce yourself before Ubua Haulu, because Keltema no stop. Introduce
I
yourself.
do. I really need an introduction. What should I say?
Please
Good afternoon,
do.
everybody. Good afternoon, KB's followers and the new ones who have joined us today. I'm glad to actually learn that some of KB's followers have recommended that I should be on this show based on my previous activities. But yeah, I'm Botsang Moiloa, and in my other life, I am a relationship coach, a very controversial one, and an author. I'm pleased to join you this afternoon.
Hey, who like the formality? Hey, yeah, no.
I will.
Nna ke expectile nna ke expectile lehlanya bo today. Please, I can expect a botse botsage bo.
I'm not Abuti Botsang. Actually, we are still going to get into the crux of the issues this afternoon. I saw the
Yeah,
topic you threw at me. It's not the nicest one. It may create some, enemies for me, but that's life. What can I say?
you're used to enemies by now, are they?
I don't want to make enemies in a love department.
Okay, I see. But first
Mm.
thing is first, I was paid to ask this before we start. The ladies wanted to know, is Botsang single?
What does this has to do with this conversation?
They're
Anyway,
asking for their friends.
oh, these people who ask for their friends, where are these friends? Because I've been searching and looking for the last 6 years and I can't find one.
Is it?
Black women are not dateable. I don't know what happened, but what is single? Single is there's single and there's unmarried. Which one are they talking about?
Okay,
The,
they're talking about the unmarried one. The single one can be sorted out. The unmarried, are you married?
I am not married. Far
Aye,
from
that's
that.
all. That's all
I've
that
done
matters.
I've done that several times before, so I am not married.
Okay, ladies, you heard it for yourself. The man is single. I'm not sure if he's looking, but he's single. Anyway, Botsang, the very controversial Botsang, today you are here because now you said black women are undateable.
Well, that's a general perception at the moment. And when I said black women are undateable, I do not mean, or I did not mean they cannot be dated. I simply was saying, take into consideration the circumstances now, and why do we have so many successful, beautiful, sexy, stable black women, yet they still can't secure a relationship? That makes them undateable. Not
Okay.
incapable of dating, but the fact that they are looking, they want to settle down, they are looking for relationships, and they are not getting it, and it makes them undateable. And there's nothing wrong with them, but we'll get into the crux of the matter as we converse.
We are getting
Uh,
into it. Explain
well,
yourself. I'm not
there,
understanding.
there are a lot of underlying factors, KB
Mm.
and your followers. Ne? And one of them is the world not accepting today that patriarchy does no longer have a space in the lives of black women, whereby black women were dependent on men from our great grandfathers or forefathers to our parents to even some of the people of our generation. Women were seen as people who are dependent on men. Women were seen as people who rely on men who should be married as well. You see, the other problem is a lot of people think being in love and having babies and building a family, you need to be married. And that's
Mm.
one of the things that is actually still dragging us backwards as couples or as individuals, because we need marriage to qualify that you are in love or you can have babies. You don't need a marriage certificate to conceive or to be pregnant. And you don't need a marriage certificate. Like in the past, people will marry for tax purposes. People will
Mm,
marry because we'll have a joint bond. At the
mm,
moment, you don't need that. You don't need to marry for tax purposes. That's long gone. It's over 20 years. You don't need to be married to can buy a bond jointly or a vehicle jointly. You don't need to be married to be in love. And let us talk about Ukjola. You know, I always say to people, next time I get married, I want to jola in my marriage. I want to date my partner. We must go
mm,
out. We must date. I must say, hey, honey, I'm taking you out for a movie tomorrow, or we are going out for dinner. You must keep dating in a relationship. But now, what
mm,
happened is women became career builders, and this is on a serious note. Women became career builders. They had to catch up with men. They had to be to prove three times more than what men did. I'm a man. I go, I study, I have a degree, I get a job, I work. A woman
mm,
has to work three times. I'm not justifying that. I'm explaining why is it happening. So in the along the lines of them building their careers as well as having babies and so forth, they have to focus on having a baby, on building a career, on competing with other women, on competing with men. You understand? So it's very difficult. Now, what women did erroneously, and I may be judged for that, is that when the hand is full and you have six issues to deal with, and a hand can carry only five, the first thing they dropped was a love life. It was the easy thing to discuss because men are dogs, men are cheats, men don't add value. So, naturally, a human being, when you have to sacrifice something in your life, you will sacrifice what gives you more problems or what gives you more stress or what
mm,
does not add or what does not add value. Now, if you are in a troubled relationship, Makaben,
mm.
and and then you've got problems at work, and you've got a child to raise, and you've got a car that is breaking up every 2 months, and you've got a
And I'm
career to,
failing my studies.
and
I
you are
like, you know.
Yes, exactly. Now, then this Botsang who comes home at 2 a.m. drunk and doesn't take your calls, doesn't send flowers, doesn't see you as often as he was 3 years back when the relationship started. It is going to be very easy for a woman to say, let me get rid of this one. Or not even fire. Women hardly fire men. You know, they hardly do that. They will just treat you so badly or neglect you to an extent that you start looking somewhere. Men are the weaker sex. I've said that several times to people. Men are the weaker sex. We are only probably strong physically, but emotionally, psychologically, we are the weakest. Now,
So even in relationship where your emotions are needed, psychologically you are needed. You are saying
uh,
men are the weaker link.
I'm a man, and I've been married and I'm a father, and I love women, but I can tell you men are the weaker sex. Emotionally and psychologically, they are. Women can scream and tumble, but when it comes to applying their mind and sitting down and saving a relationship, they do better than us. I've said
Mm,
it several times. We are quick to quit or to run away.
mm,
That's the men do. Women stay. That's why
mm.
you find women staying in a very wrong, very abusive relationship.
A
Again,
toxic relationship. Mm,
relationship, I do not say it's right, but it's because they've got the endurance, it's because they've got the strength, the determination. And the day a woman leaves, you ask me, Miss Kati, hey, the day a woman decides, I don't want that man, it is really over. She will walk away and not come back. While
mm,
men, we keep going back to our exes. Something that
mm.
I advise a lot of people when I have my private session to say, going back to an ex, it hardly works. 90% of people who get back together, the situation becomes worse. So,
Why? Why doesn't it work?
from personal experience, it is because what did not work before, it will still be there. People don't break up mainly for a once of wrongdoing. They don't. Human
Mm,
beings break up for mainly character traits, things that we are born with. Let me make an example. If you
mm.
go and you meet a guy and you marry a guy who's studying, who's living well, he drinks alcohol moderately, not like me, and hey, but when you drink wine, it's not alcohol. Remember, wine is wine,
Oh
and
yeah,
there's
of
alcohol.
course,
So
of
so
course.
once that man wakes up one day, and start abusing alcohol, and he becomes violent. You see, now you are experiencing a character trait of a person that you never experienced before.
Mm.
You can't deal with that. Alcohol may affect his health, may affect his sexual activity, and he may affect him being responsible in the house and so forth. Why do you stay in such a relationship? Women will walk away. They will take time, but they will walk away. And now, after 2 years, you go back to that man thinking that he has learned his mistakes, he has seen, then he starts drinking again. And that's why psychologists are milking. Psychologists and marriage counselors are milking. They're making a lot of money because we
From
tend to
our
go to the
brokenness.
people are, going back to the topic, KB, of why are black women not dateable, especially the so-called career successful women
uh,
or with money and status.
Independent.
There's nothing called independent. I don't know. The fact that you want to fall in love or you want to be in a relationship, it means one element of your human needs is dependent on being in a relationship. So there's
Mm,
nothing called independent. There's nobody who's absolutely independent. The fact that you need a man, even if you've got your
mm.
Range Rover, you live in midstream in a secure place and your kids are in private schools, that's not independent. You are affording
Mm.
life. You understand?
I like
You
that.
you are not independent. You are affording life. Now,
You're
what
not
you should
independent. You're for the life. Did you guys hear that?
look at me. Look at me. It's been how long? 2014 to today. My son was telling me last week we had a conversation over a fire bomb, and he was like, "Dad, you must stop saying to people, we poor black people, you are not poor." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You
Mm,
are off. You have made it in life. You've got a house. You've got a car. You don't owe one car. You've got a stable job." But that's
mm,
not success. That's what I'm trying to
mm,
say to the ladies. You are not independent. You have made it in life. You can afford to live a comfortable life. Once your Range Rover has parked and your
mm,
bank balance, you have used the money, you don't even know what to do with the rest anymore. You get home, you watch your big screen TV, you watch soapies, you listen to music. You will still need that Botsang next to you to rub your feet. Yes, you can
mm,
go to the salon to do the pedicures and the manicures, and you go to a massage
mm,
parlor, but it does not have that element human touch.
mm,
How many of us are sleeping in queen size beds and we turn and we toss every night? If you want
mm,
to see how messed up our people are, you
mm,
must go live on Facebook or any
mm,
social media at 2
mm,
a.m., even before lockdown. Go at
mm.
2 a.m. You'll see how many people are live there. When are people having,
Abarobali. Bethe
listen to me.
yabata Botsang.
When are people having sex? When are people making love? What happened to you? For example, Makabel, I told people probably I'll struggle to find a woman. I'll never date a woman who wears tights in the house and jeans. What are jeans in the house? For what? It's a turn off for men. I can tell you, this thing of wearing tights and jeans in the house is a turn off for men.
Esther,
Women
but
are
then
not.
kind of go back to the subject. Oh, you're running away from the subject now. Oh, what a story, sir. What could it tight? Truly tight, Sarona. Focus on the issue.
Well, anyway, so those are some of the underlying factors. I had mentioned the careers from the beginning that people who
Mm,
focus on. There is nothing wrong in a 28-year-old black woman who has a degree and a stable job, wanting an honors and a master's. But
mm,
then you've got to catch up. You have to have a baby before you are 35, preferably, or you have to
mm,
find a man who's responsible and stable to help you to bring up the child, and men must play their role. But it's a catch up situation. By the time you come back to the game, after you have absconded in the game of jolling, mujolo, you
mm,
will find that all the best men are taken. All
mm,
the men are gone. All the good men are married or they are in stable relationships. So what do you do now? You start destabilizing other relationships. What does it do? It causes commotion. It gives men this mentality that phela wena nole makhwapeni, why do you want to graduate to be madam? When you
mm,
knew that the person, then it gives men that entitlement and a right. But it also gives a problem because you are rushing to have a baby or to make
mm,
babies, to feed kids, and then you find Botsang who has enough kids and he doesn't want to have kids anymore.
mm,
And so those are things that make people undateable. I'm in my 40s. I meet a
mm,
35-year-old who has no child. She's looking
mm,
for a child immediately. I'm looking for love. I'm looking to engage, to be in a relationship first. I
mm,
don't care about marriage. So it
mm,
is that it's a up situation, but also let me tell you something, and this hurts or offend a lot, but to you, KB, and your followers, lot of people, and we are talking women today. Ne? Some women
yeah,
will
yeah,
come and talk about men. Let me talk about women. A
yeah.
lot of women of our age group or dateable women who are supposed to be between the age of 30 and 50 or maybe 25 and 45. Ne? Let's use
Mm,
that age. They are broken. They are hurt. They come from very toxic relationships that has hurt
mm,
them so much that they do not believe that men are good anymore. And that is the first thing. People are hate out there.
yeah.
They are people are hate, they are broken, and money cannot fix that. Your medical aid, that high class medical aid that pays for your psychologist fees is not gonna resolve the toxins that are in your body. And a
Mm,
lot of people are not happy with themselves.
mm,
If you are a woman and you are not happy with yourself, you are not content with your body, your
mm.
work, level of education, your kids, your background, if you are not happy and content with that, you will never ever attract anybody that is happy or who will make you happy. And it shows on our faces, it shows.
Wait. Don't rush through this. You need to take time through this. Are go tlele morao. Repeat that again. For as long as you don't have.
A happy life for as long as you are not content with yourself as a person,
Mm,
as a woman, for as long as you are not happy with yourself, your background, your little job, whether you are a cashier, a banker, or a chartered
mm,
accountant,
mm,
contentment is the most important thing.
mm,
Look yourself on the mirror, like I looked at myself this morning and I said, Botsang, you are fat. Then it means I'm not happy with my body. I must do something about it.
yeah.
Now, Pia or Lerato or Pinky, they will also see that in me because that is what I profess out. That is in my mind.
Mm,
It's all the mind game. So now you can't seek happiness from one male movie. You cannot come to Mr. X and say, I want a perfect Mr. X to make me
Sana
happy. And
Botsang Kgachola, Raratane, you said you love me. Why can't you make me happy?
but why should it depend? When I said I love you, I didn't say I'm going to bring you a bucket full of happiness. Loving you is just part of the whole thing. What makes you happy? I don't know. If I meet a certain Mrs. B today,
Mm.
or Pinky, and then I
Motho wa
say to
kgale,
you,
mabitso o wa bitsang bo Pinky bo Lerato o motho wa di-70s, 60s kwa.
give it a man. Those are the common names. Anyway, uh,
Lorraine.
Lorraine, a little Petronella. No, we'll get to that. But once I approach a Lorraine, ne, I approach a Lorraine, and this is what women miss as well. Men don't go to women because they love them. No, 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 no. How do I love you? This story, I always tell ladies, if a man approaches you
Yeah.
and he starts saying, you are intelligent, you are smart, I love, and he's talking rubbish. How, after meeting you 3 times, can I tell you you're intelligent? You are very smart. You can't. It takes a lot. Intelligence. It has emotions in it. You probably are intelligent with books because I know you went to school, you studied, and you graduated, and you are
Mm,
getting awards at work. It's easy to pick those things up. But
mm,
emotional intelligence. Can we converse? Can we go out and have this topic and you don't get offended when we start talking about sex and rape and all those things? Okay.
mm,
So when people are seeking a relationship, it's not a once off thing. It's a process you build. When you are in love, in a love relationship, there's a lot of sex that should be involved. Money stress a lot of people. Money and material stress a lot of people
mm,
in the stability. I've seen people coming out of difficult times, but they stick together and they're still happy together. You understand? If you are used to be dating, going out 3 times a week for the first 3 times, 3 months of the relationship, then that ends because one of you has sat down and said, we are wasting money in restaurants. Let's cook at home. Somebody
mm,
may be affected. Somebody may be affected and said, but you don't love me anymore because
mm,
your life and your happiness was based on being dated and being taken out. You understand? I heard and I
mm,
listened to one pastor talking last week on social media saying, hey, black guys, you must take your woman out, fly her to New York, go on a holiday, take it. But that's not realistic. If you look
mm,
at the pockets of a black man, we are living hand to mouth. Now, if I'm under pressure to take Makabelo to Dubai, what am I going to do? I'm going to go on credit. And I take you to Dubai on credit. You are fulfilled, you are happy, you are excited. When we come back, our relationship collapse. You know why? Because I'm stressed by
mm,
the debt. Because I must pay the debt of the. But you see, it's living above the means. So materials should not build or make a relationship. We should make as a couple. We should make the material. It should not make
mm.
us.
Botsang, why Mujolo Orimisa Sovel? Why are we not getting this Mujolo thing right? Okay, let's own equally as
Yeah,
men and women. Why are we
we-
not getting Mujolo right? You could find two great people. Look, outside of Mujolo, we are both wonderful people, we kind people.
absolutely.
You know?
Mm,
But
mm.
these two decent people can't get together and make it work. You know, why are we getting it wrong here? I mean, we get it right in the corporate, we get it right wherever else, in our passions, in our fields, but why is it that two decent people can't get together and make a relationship work? It's not even marriage yet, just a relationship.
I know why. And I've said it before. We did not evolve with the world. In the past, it was waking, feeding the kids, having sex, sleeping, and home. That was the past. Now there's a
Yeah.
lot happening in our lives. We want to jolla like our forefathers and our parents. We want that kind of passion, but we
Mm.
want to also accommodate the modern activities of life. That's why. And I'll tell you, why are we not getting it right? It is because we are not dedicated to each other. We don't commit to each other. And that's one. Two is an easy one. Number two, project management principles. You made an example, KB. Wa remonna. Hey, but at work they get it right. In careers they get it right. It is because they've got a plan. But
Mm.
people don't want to plan Upjola. They think, like when I propose a woman and she starts saying, yeah, let's give it a time. It must go with the flow. I always say, I'm not a river. I'm not going with the flow. We must be decisive. You see, the problem is people don't want to be decisive. They want to go with the flow. What flow? Who will create the flow?
You are
What
not a
flow?
river way, Nabi.
I'm not, I'm not going to go with the flow. We must be decisive. OC,
Yeah.
Rajo, Arijola, one, we must define the relationship. What
Mm.
kind of a relationship are we getting into? And that's the mistake that many of us do. You understand?
Mm.
What kind? What's a story? As I believe, Majita Haleshela. What's a straight or what kind of a relationship do you want? Obatang. And I've met women who are straightforward. Do you want
Yeah.
to have sex?
Uto ja
Or,
papa,
or, or,
eh,
or, or o batla a fling, or o batla
eh.
just casually will meet as and when, or o batla stability, or o batla bana, or o batla lenyalo. You must ask
Mm.
those questions and hold us to account to those questions. In other words, how do you
So
clear
problem
to
we don't hold you to account.
no, you must hold us to account. You must revisit
I'm saying
every
I'm
review.
saying problem now, Kuri, we don't hold you to account. I get
Yes, you are
you
not.
get
Women
away
are not.
with
Men are
yeah,
getting.
men are getting away.
Yeah,
Hey.
but
Let Lala Caro,
you
right?
let me tell you, women have created that environment and the platform. They have.
Yeah.
They create, and men are taking advantage of it. This thing is like business. Somebody
Mm.
was running a construction business 3 months back because of COVID. That person is now distributing masks. So men do that in a relationship. You understand? Women allow us to come home at 2 a.m. Watch all makabela on a boyfriend or the husband. O tla gae ka 2 a.m. every other day. Weekend day on a kibu. You allow it for 1 year. And after 2 years, you want to stand up and say, eh?
What's it
No,
say?
no, no. You must nip it at the beginning. At the very beginning, when this thing starts, you know that it's wrong. You can't come to me after 2 years and say, Mary love, wait till every weekend, o tswale majita wa nwa, posa Thursday, Saturday, ke
Mm.
bolo, Sunday, o ya car wash. I've been doing it for 2 years. You never had a problem.
Why now?
And you but on control, that the defense becomes, I don't reason that time. A man's defense is but on control. We are used to this. Why is it a problem?
Mm.
You
Mm.
understand? Because you allowed
Mm.
it, allowed this thing to happen. And once they are tired of it, because women are very patient people. I said at the beginning of our conversation, women are they are very patient, and they have the endurance of saying, I want this relationship to work.
Mm.
Kanti, the things you do to make the relationship to work, you are actually digging a grave for yourself. You
Mm.
are creating a problem. You understand? I said
Mm.
to you earlier, project management principles. Why at work, ladies? Why at work? Literally the reviews. Later the monthly reports, later the quarterly
Mm,
reports, every 6 months, midterm, on all the reviews. Are you still on track? Why don't you do that in your
mm,
relationship? Why don't
mm,
you call your man after 6 months and say, hey, what's wrong with him? You know, we've been 6 months together and I'm not
mm,
complaining. Let's go and have dinner over a bottle of good wine and I'll pay for that day. Don't pay. I want us to talk. Are you still happy? Are you still enjoying
mm.
me? You still
That's an
find it?
important question. That's an important question, Botsang, in a relationship. Are you still happy? But
Yes.
then we shy away from asking that because o emela motho a be a o fe di-signs. Why are we not taking
What?
accountability of are you
That's,
still happy?
that's
Am I
exactly the
still
problem.
making you happy?
You must actually even raise or ask the difficult ones. Do you still enjoy me? Is our sex life in
Mm,
order? Because you can see once a couple is new, the first 2 weeks you will make love or have sex. I don't know, whatever, which one. You'll do it 2, 3 times a week. Then it moves. On the fourth, after a month, you do it almost every day. After 2 months,
mm.
3 times a day. After 6 months, once a week. And you keep quiet. Something is wrong. The signs are there. The signs are there. Some
But I'm
the,
thinking this thing, I care about in a the phases, in a the honeymoon phase, in a the enge. So I
I
mean,
ask the
can you
question,
sustain?
who
Is it
determines?
realistic to
It is.
sustain the happy? Okay.
It is. Who determines the honeymoon phase? Who came with this determination? Or there's a honeymoon phase. Who determines? Who puts the period? Psychologists and marriage counselors, of which many of them have a jolly or they were never married, and that's a
Like
problem.
yourself, so like
Yeah.
yourself, so hey, I can
No,
hold
no.
Julian.
I've
Eh?
been married. I've been married, and no, I think also jolly is my failures to catch the right a dateable one. I think that's the problem, but I'll get that one right.
What about a
I'm sure.
strategy now? What about now? I can't. Okay, more singing. Look at you now.
No, what? I am single. That hasn't changed. But I'm saying, the fact that I have failed to secure a relationship or whatever in the last 2 years or whatsoever, it does not mean I've not been dating or looking. I have, but I've been failing or
Oh,
kissing frogs or kissing frogs.
oh, wow.
Uh, but that's part of life. But going back to the topic of revisiting the relationship, why this beautiful, successful women who are sitting there, I will tell them, take your project management plan from your work, bring it to your
Mm,
relationship. Project manage your relationship, visit
mm,
your relationship. Ask your partner, honey, am I still attractive? Are you still attracted to me? The way
mm,
you wear, ask him. And one be
mm.
honest. Or do you want me to tweak something? Use nice words, not use words like change. Men don't like words like change. Tweak
Yeah,
something.
like fortune Chile. Yeah.
Yeah, like, can I tweak something? Do you want me to? Are you still happy with me wearing a weave or but like a scope or like Miriabo Botsang is on fashion now? You understand? So check those things. Be alive. So the relationship is like a plant. Be alive. It must be alive. O ska dula on your laurels. Or ke mo securile e teng, go monate, o responsible. No, he's dying inside. He's dying.
How
He's
do we
failing.
know he's dying inside? How do you know if we're dying inside? We're all dying. How do we know if we're all dying? Because we're
There
in this
are
boat together.
there are two things that always tells you to answer the question, how do you know? The very first thing is that nature shows you, signs are showing. We tend to put a blind eye on them. There's the first one. The second thing, if you don't know something, Macabelo, what do, ladies? What do? You ask.
You ask,
You
yeah.
you ask. You engage. You ask. After a week, you ask again. After the third time, you are no more tracker. You have been consistent. There's another thing. Let me give you a tip that Majita gonna kill me for. Huh?
Yes.
Uh, you ask a man something that's serious of concern. You must ask 3 times in a month with 1 week spaces in between. If the answer is consistent, give up Mwanakohai. Before because you're gonna irritate him. You will think he's lying. But once the answer
Yeah,
changes,
I do know. You're speaking too fast. Go back. If
okay.
ask three
Let,
times a
let's
week, a month.
examples. Use the examples, ne? If you want to know that this man who was having sex with you 4 times a week in the past, now it's once a week, is he
Mm,
still a I'm saying to you, you must ask him. You must plan a month.
mm.
Let's say the month of May. On the 3rd of May, you must ask him, honey, do you still enjoy making love to me? Do you want me to change something? Are you still happy with that? Why have you reduced? He'll give an answer.
Mm.
On the 12th of May, you must visit that topic. And don't visit Idale Luande. This is a very important part. Do not
Timing.
raise timing. Don't ever raise issues of building a relationship when there's conflict. Don't ever
Yeah.
raise them. Hallelujah, or Leo Manya, or Anwile Mashiaba, Nas Captain, or Anwile Chelta Petrol. Don't ever do that.
Actually, ditanong tsa bana.
Actually,
Hey.
the palone tsa bana and wa bona gona no revisit the fridge or asa tlhatswa koloi. You know, when I was married to a very hard woman. She was very strict. At some stage,
Yeah.
she used to sell sex. She used to charge me, you know, like you must pay, and I'll pay, you know, and I
Wise
had found
woman.
it very yeah, a very wise one. And I'll pay. And she will say, this is not the money you gave me. But she had a clue. But I don't wash cars. I don't tank cars. I don't care where you get the money from, even if you take my money. But I don't want to be driving with a car. It was stuck. It's your duty. You wash the cars. Or when you go buy or wash your car, you must know there's two cars in the house. There's not one. And she
Mm.
was, and then she would even say to me, look, when I met you, they told me you are a cook, you love cooking. Don't ever ask me for food. Give me food. Because that's
Mm.
attracted me to you. You see what she did? She didn't drop the ball because we
She
were
held
married.
you accountable.
She held me accountable. She said, when they told me about you, they told me you love cooking and I'm lazy. So please, cooking in this house, it's your duty. She held me accountable. She didn't drop the ball. She didn't say, hey, this man is now stressed at work, so he can't cook. So, ladies,
Mm.
hold men accountable. Let them be accountable. Revisit this thing after the 12th, after the 21st of May, revisit it. If the answer
Mm.
is consistent, then let go. Then it means there are other underlying factors. Go and find out what is that. But then it's not because it's not enjoying, because it's consistent. But once you start changing the language, 1 week, baby, another wiki o tla ka story se different from ke kgathetse. On the third week comes with the third story. No, then there's something. And then you must ask
Yeah.
relevant questions. You understand? So people must communicate. A lot of marriage counselors and relationship coaches, they will say communication, communication, communication. I don't use that language. I'm saying the how and the when do you communicate. It's important.
Yeah.
How and the when. People communicate, even
Mm.
fighting communication. Screaming at me is communication. You understand? It is
Mm.
good. We are communicating. I'm showing you the anger. I don't talk physically. People, when we speak fighting, they must not think we are endorsing physical abuse in a relationship. No, no, no. We are
Yeah.
talking ga batho ba ratanang. O bone e le ya go sa buisane and take a shower. No. When last did people have joint showers? Huh? Join together, baths at home, not on holiday. Hmm?
Mm.
This lockdown has actually showed people the truth. I love it. Yo, I love it so much. You must see the comments and the inboxes we get from people telling them lockdown has actually exposed a number of people in relationship, whether they are in a relationship or not. Batho ba stress ba batla lockdown e fele because ba batla ho ya Cubana ba ye ko bo mabebeza ba o tlohele ka mo
Mm.
tlung. It's a
Mm.
problem. How can I be depressed and stressed for the first time in my life when you have your partner every minute of your life? I get we always say I wish
Ka
I could work from home.
iketsetsa, eh? Like o ka
Hmm.
iketsetsa, eh?
Go monate. Oh no, but people are supposed to be on loose, relaxing clothes than any other time. No more suits and ties going to work.
Hey,
You
we're not
understand?
loose clothes. I was like, no, no, no. But then tell us,
Mhm.
I'll come back to your questions because I know men would probably want to hear your comment on those loose clothes, blah, blah. But then, lying, why are you cheating? Why are men cheating?
Why men cheat and lie?
Yeah, no, la cheat, man. And imagine, le rona re tlo cheata phela at this rate of your
Women
cheating.
cheat. Women
I
cheat.
know,
They
but
cheat
today we're
a
talking
lot.
about men.
Why
Why do men cheat?
we must first talk about why do men get into a relationship. That's the answer. The answer is right there.
Let's start
Why
it from
men
there. We have time.
why men cheat is why men get into a relationship. When a man gets into a relationship with you, and let's put it as individual, I want your followers and the ladies to focus on themselves. They must not look at Mewako next door or a certain celebrity. That's not gonna help. Get yourself.
Mm,
If
mm.
John approached you or Sipo, you must first know why Sipo came to your life. If you don't know that, then you will never have an answer why Sipo cheated on you. If you know why Sipo came to your life, you remember earlier on we spoke about defining a relationship, saying Abuti Obatlae, what do you want? Ne?
Mm.
Once you know the day he cheats, you will know that what he said he wanted, it is no longer there. And that's why he's seeking it somewhere. You understand? It's simple as that. This story of saying men are dogs, men cheat, and no matter what you can do, you can cook for him, you can feed him, you can bath him, change his style, and have sex with him every day. He will still cheat. That's not true. I'm a man. And I've been married, and that is not true. Leave no space unturned. Leave no room unturned. Ha e le gore ke ntja ene ha a
How the
kgotsofale,
men
batho
don't cheat? The comments ke tse di re men don't cheat, men fall in love. Le maaka.
they fall in love. Yeah, then ba na le dipelo tse dingata. Fall in love with how many? How many hearts do you have to fall in love with? No, no. And you see, that's another problem. Why do people fall in love? You fall. When you fall, it means you had no balance. You found yourself in the middle of that thing. Why do people fall in love? I never fall in love. I love. Why do you fall? How fall it means okupilwe, otelete. You understand?
Botsang
You
la
fall.
rata go change di-term, la rata go change di-term. It's falling
Nah,
in love. That's it.
nah,
Don't be political about this. We are falling in
you
love.
must laugh.
It's a
Bona, I'll answer you. I'll give you the answer with your audience. I'll give you the answer. When you fall in love, it's when you don't have a direction. You bump on somebody in the mall and you claim to be loving them. You have fallen in love. But when you love a person, even if that person rejects you or doesn't want to, you will keep on loving that person. Then you are in love with that person. You are not in a relationship with that person, but you love
you're
that
in
person.
love with that person.
Now, you didn't fall. How fall? How not direction? How not balance? People must stop
Mm.
falling in love. You must love a person. There's a woman I love. I know I probably never have her in my life, but I love her. And I tell her all the
Mm.
time, and she
Mm.
has said to me that, but that does not mean I cannot have a relationship with the next person. That does not mean I cannot love the next person. Maybe the
Mm.
next come and take over and say, now, Botsang, you have been loving Miss A. Now I'm Miss C and I'm fulfilled. It's common. But going back to the
Mm.
cheating part, you see, I don't know why do people like to make cheating a fundamental point of a relationship. What is cheating? Does it involve sex only or even dating is cheating? You see, we must unpack this thing. If I'm in a relationship with KB and then I have Mapaseka that I always have drinks with and there's no sex involved, is that cheating? It is. In my books, it is cheating.
Do
Because
I know
why?
about her or not? Do you
Whether
keep her
you,
secret? It's a life outside of us. It's a life
it's
outside
a
of
life.
what we can discuss.
It's a life outside of us. Understand? To say
No, no,
why am I
obviously, you need
cheating?
to have friends, you need to have everything. But I'm saying, at what point is Mapaseka? Do we integrate with Mapaseka, or Mapaseka is just
Now, remember, if we integrate, you will know where I am, we'll know what we are doing. But once we keep it a secret and we don't integrate, and you don't get to meet Mapaseka, so Mapaseka is not part of us, it's part of Botsang. It's not part
okay?
of us. You understand?
And is
So
that cheating?
in my books, that is cheating. Why
Okay.
what I do with Mapaseka don't I do with you? But probably you don't drink alcohol and you don't go out. So Mapaseka loves beer and we drink beer. You understand? But a lot of people put cheating and they relate it mainly to sex, and that's where
Mm.
the problem. You understand? I know. Let me tell you what I've had a discussion with the ladies when I had my seminar why men cheat and lie, and I told them to say we have had ladies and guys, we go out Thursday, Friday, every Thursday, posa Thursday, until 2
Mm.
a.m. And Manakoka, you are not in a relationship. You are married to your bed and your TV. If a man every weekend comes home 12, 2 a.m. drunk, one Oron gets a plaka. He comes home drunk. And then he sleeps. Then he wakes up at 5 and you are angry. Now at 5, he's not going to touch you because you are angry, you are upset, or you are late. You must prepare the kids, go to work. You don't have a relationship. That relationship is non-existing. You are actually living housemates or something like that. You understand?
But I can I batle re le control. I can le
No,
batla
it's
go
not.
ba freedom. In
Why?
a you want to be Botsang, be independent, do what makes you happy. Can't is it a woman's job to now run after you and remind you, hey Botsang, you are now married. Hey Botsang, it's now 2 a.m. Come back home. Hey,
Okay, let's get there. Let me stop you right there. I like what you just said. Now you are married. Was I doing those things before marriage?
I
Marriage
don't
should not
know.
change. Marriage should not change people's characteristics and behavior. It should not. So a lot of people think now you are married, you can't do things. You see what you are doing now? You are taking away from a person what that person is accustomed to. I don't say it's right, ladies. I'm not saying it's right to come home at 2 a.m. No, I'm saying o monyetso ntse o tseba hore letahwa le la kale la groover le ya Durban July le ya
Mm,
le ya Cape
mm.
Jazz le ya Polo.
It's
You
not
knew
new. Yeah.
now
Mm.
because of marriage or o lobolile o tshwere some
So ba
piece
tla
of
botsa go ba tshwantšhe yaanong.
no, it's not gonna happen. You lose that.
Are they
Even if
responsible?
who said when a person drinks alcohol or grooves or parties and come is not responsible? You o
Mm,
monyetla a ntse a etsa those things are responsible o a fodile magadi o maintain bana, but it is because you think and you thought in your mind as a lady that now that ke mo tshwere ka tokomane lengwalo la sekgowa le reng o tlo dula ka tlung o tlo shebana le nna ka matlong. No, he's not gonna do that. Forget it, because that is what he is accustomed to. That's what he.
mm.
You understand? I've got. It's not nice to talk of people relationships, but I'm a failed marriage person. I always use my brother. My brother is younger than me. He's been married now. In
For
February, it
donkey
was
years.
13 years. He's married.
Imagine
13.
there. Mm.
Oh, I couldn't last 13 months. 13 years. But my brother hasn't changed his lifestyle. He grooves
Mm,
like a maniac. He's very responsible. He takes care of his wife and kids. Bona,
mm.
ha o ka te lockdown e fedile go iwa Durban July tomorrow.
He's
Trust me,
there.
he'll be there.
Yeah.
So
And he
he
takes
didn't
care of
change.
home first.
He's
Yeah.
taking care from his wife. I think his wife has come to reality. She's a very smart, beautiful woman who has accepted that batho monna ke kopane le ene a le tjena, ha ke tlo mo
Mm,
and those
mm.
those are the things that if ladies can pay attention to, those are the things that ladies I know somewhere somehow. Look, you can't remain static as a human being. I can't say what I did 20 years back, I'll still do it the same way today. You can't. It's very wrong. It's actually
What
rude.
are you drinking? You need to relax. Hey, you're talking too fast. Like, just relax. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking poison. There's no alcohol. I'm waiting. I must go drink wine. Now, because of lockdown, I keep a bottle for the evening. You see, so it's very painful.
Oh, so you can sleep there.
Hey, I've even signed a pact with my chat box people to say we'll sleep at 2 a.m. But it's tough. Go rough.
That way is
For
less
the
lonely.
for the first time in my life, I regret why I don't have a wife, even if she was irritating. Yo. This was a wake up call. Let me tell you what's going to happen after lockdown. Baby booms, diseases booms, love booms. You're going to see people loving and committing and being serious. The nice thing about this lockdown, batho ba tlo re rata, go thola batho. Ba serious, ba kgonang
Ropopa. Bona ropopa.
batho ba kgonang go value di-relationship gore o itse keng bona ne I've never cooked like this in my life. I cook almost every day. Imagine if I had a woman who ratang dijo nke be a ja monate.
Hey, Botsang, stop marketing yourself here. Back to the topic. Botsang,
Okay. Mm.
eh,
Gate ke i-market nna ke itse ke i-market. Ladies, I'm not available, man. There's somebody who loves me.
mamelang ge. Botsang, a re botsa ka girlfriend allowance. Le re, why le sa re betše kana?
I wa bona ke that thing got me into trouble a few years back when I helped Mandisa Mahlobo to run a seminar, and I was on Kaya FM and Power and all that. This thing, a girlfriend allowance, now I don't understand why basadi le sokola. I really don't understand hore o etsang ka motho o sa o betšeng. Really, bona. And ha ke re motho a go fe thuta ya o ya Dubai o ka go slay queen. But
Mm.
ladies, for if a man can't buy you toilet, simple. And o ska mo kopa, o ska emela o tšhone. Girlfriend allowance does not include tšhelete ya petrolo, ya rente, ya dijo, ya bana. No. Those are basics. In your bank statements, in your budget, since go nne le GA, girlfriend allowance.
Then
Ke tšhelete
why rona re sa e thole? What are we doing wrong?
you've met the wrong ones, the wrong guys. Monna ko betcha man. Wa bona girlfriend allowance ke mo betcho. Ke mo betcho. It's
So
simple like
how do
that. Ke
we
mo
get
betcho.
this girlfriend allowance?
Ha sa o fumotse wa le sa ba botse gore nana ha o mbetše and o be clever. Girlfriend allowance must be consistent, ne? It has to
Mm.
be a figure.
Can't be a
A
once
con-
off.
it's monthly. A kere ke gola monthly. A kere ke gola monthly. Ha o hasela o sena a regular income, then your lady must understand gore ha o popile tendanyana e patetse go contract o tla latlhela 10,000 20,000 or nothing. But ha o na le regular income, I think it's just fair for your partner and some modern people, the feminists, these modern ones, Baba Rasam Bare, it's like buying a woman, it's like making a woman dependent on a man. No, 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 that's wrong. But ke go spoila motho wa gago. It's simple. You spoil your person. You can afford. And somebody may sit there and say, but girlfriend allowance ke bokae? It depends what can a person afford. I may
Yeah.
be affording 1,000 or 2,000 rands, and then somebody may afford 500, somebody may afford 5,000. But is that token? It's not a girlfriend allowance. As o motho o
Mm.
nyetsweng ka 20,000, le o nyetsweng ka 60,000. It means what 20,000 is cheaper or like something. It's what the people agreed upon or what the person
Mm.
can afford. Angare ka nyala today, Kobo Makabele, ba mpatla 100,000. I'll walk, not because I don't like it, because I don't have 100,000.
Mm.
I'll
Mm.
postpone it until can 100,000. You understand? Or I'll walk
Mm.
away. The girlfriend allowance is the same. Be nice to a lady. And where did you go? No ska bo. Ska ba re ko file 2,000 mabane. Whether o letsa manala, whether
But then, tla ke go botse, ke bao banna ba tshaba, ba re you talking about girlfriend allowance. Ke bao ba tshaba di comments. Ke bao they're getting away. They're leaving the chat. Help us.
uh,
These
they should
men
not.
are exiting.
Majita must come
You
back.
see what
Yeah,
we have to deal with. You see?
they must.
Ba
They must come back.
tshabelang.
How's a bitch?
Ba
Batla o bitch.
tshabelang.
How's a bitch? Batla o bitch etsa ba bangwe. Batla o bitch etsa.
Why are you running away? Why?
Go na le Majita in this conversation. I thought it's ladies only.
Mo, ba commenta ba itse keng, you should read their comments. How about to work a girlfriend allowance? But talking about that, is that something that, look, I've always found what white people always it's almost like they know to take care of their woman. Hence, we have more stay-at-home
Uh,
wives and whatever.
uh,
It's a known fact. Like I
Icon.
don't think they even
Mm-mm.
okay.
Have you dated
Can
the
I
white
finish
man?
my
Well,
question? Can I
have
finish
you
my
dated?
question? Yes, I have, but can I finish my question?
Yeah, finish. I'm listening.
I'm just saying, Hore, is it so wrong? Why do black men feel like Rabayuza when they take care of their woman? Who else must take care of their woman? Why is
Yeah,
it
but
not
you said it
something?
right. If it's your man, you can't use your own man because it's your man. You understand? If you are a
Mm,
side chick, you're a side dish, then Kikoro one user when the going gets tough. But if I'm your man and I've created an impression or I've put you in a position ya gore o nagane gore I'm your man, then I don't have to question you when you ask me for and I don't want to use money, man, to spoil you because you can spoil a person by doing various things. Ne?
mm.
Various. I've got a friend who went to learn how to do pedicure and manicure because he couldn't afford it. I record the tools. So, ke ena etsa mosadi wa ge those things go through. Then he's spoiling.
Wow. Yeah.
He was saying to me, bruh, if I buy this kit ka suitcase nyana ya thing, it will cost me 2,000 for a good one. 2,000 and I go and I learn 1 week course how to do this thing. I'm gonna surprise that woman. Now you were giving her money every 2 weeks to go and do the nails. Vis a vis, you are doing it. There's passion and romance involved, and you are saving the money. But basadi ba rata tjhelete, ne? So that one e o tlo e savang e ha e le gore o no spend that 2,000 on her, you are saving it now. She's going to start saying, can I at least have half of that money? E ya kae yona? You see, but as a man, you must accept it. It is never
Mm,
enough. Material and money and clothes. Now I've given up on trying to manage a woman buying shoes and clothes. Don't, some departments as a man, you don't go into them. Just let go. It doesn't help.
mm,
Like Rona with cars. There are men who love clothes. There are men who love cars. I don't like clothes. I never buy clothes. But cars, I spend money on traveling. So accept what your partner loves. If you don't think what is important for you. Ne? It's not important for
mm.
another person. So if you have a woman or ratang diaparo le ditlhako, wena o rata traveling le dikoloi, understand is the love of that person. There are people who spend money on food more than on entertainment. We are
I
not.
would. That's me. Yeah.
Understand?
Mm.
We are not the same. I mean, with this lockdown, ladies, you have noticed how we have spent so much money on buying groceries and meat. It's because the kids are there, the boyfriend is there, the husband is there. I don't eat meat. I never buy meat in the house until now. I can't wait for this child to go back to school. I'm tired of buying meat. So
What else?
those are things that my relationship in since really share and really accept. And but on the girlfriend allowance, before it to man, nah, I'm not gonna compromise. I also bet you,
Re
but I'll bet.
sokola re na le banna. Ba sale ba
No,
na le lipstick le di-perfume ba na le banna ba jewa every day. Aowa.
you must not even ask for them. I can take a little perfume, you know. O phone or love bottle how it's a makai, ke bona special mo discount mo go kai kai. O botse. You know, it must be a
Mm.
man. Le lona ba sa ditle batho ba modimo ke a kopa nako ngwa o ntse o reka ko hulwetse kwa go Pick n Pay grocery.
Rekela monna hao, right?
Ke winter di slippers nyana di thermo vest nyana tsele o no check ko khabotong wa bona gore botsang wa apara di underwear tsa galenyana o tle le tse dintšha o nketse tsa kgale o di kenye o ska di lahla by the way o ska tlile ntlo ya boyfriend tle yo o tla tlantsa banna
Why?
don't don't ever clean a boyfriend's house without asking
His
our
permission.
girlfriend yeah don't change my
Why?
cupboard. Ask.
Oh, okay.
Men don't like
Oh,
that. They feel infiltrated. They feel "Horo, but I'll take her over. Ask. There's nothing wrong with honey. Can I pack your cupboards? What will harm you if Oriel? Maybe kill a
I thought this makes us women. Mostly, we're cleaning the dishes. If I'm washing these
Nah,
dishes, I'm changing the room and I'm changing the bedding. And I thought you guys
very
liked
wrong.
this.
Don't do that.
I
Men
feel
don't
like
like.
you're the slave queens when we leave your house.
No,
Motho ha
no.
tla tswale sejana, ha tla tswale eng.
Yeah, ha o ja akere o tshotse wa ja o na zana se se hlatsuwe ke mang seo sona because o jele it was you who made that dish but for example when you visit for a weekend Makabelo when you visit for a weekend ne? And this is what I've learned from one ex and I like that lesson from a lady. She would call and say, I'm coming over the weekend, please put new bedding. And she knew in Exajol. She knew I was not cheating. But I asked her one day, why? She said, because you've been sleeping on those sheets. Even alone, I want fresh ones. When she leaves on Sunday or Monday morning, she would ask me, should I change your bedding or is it fine? It doesn't harm to ask. Don't automatically change it. Maybe give out a more that bedding continuously so that I can smell your perfume being left there. But ask. O ska tlotsa mosamo o ntsha di-pillowcase o tsaya lefiele o paka dikgabato tsaka because di kopa-kopane then the next thing ha ke batla t-shirt yaka I don't know where you see that's where irritation comes in. It's when Madibuseng comes to my house.
Hey, wena o kgale o tjola, o itse ke eng, don't ntse o fa ona. Ke bo Pink, ke bo Madibuseng.
What I can accept Joel, I don't know the modern name. So my man you come to my house on thola e le hore ke lahlela dintho fela ka khabotong o kila bona dikgaboto tsa batho ba bang di kopa-kopane especially tsa basadi go kopa-kopane ne. Uh,
Mm.
they don't have an orderly pattern. Like nah, my cupboard is orderly. The hangers are the same color, the same way, they face the same direction. Oh, what now auto change. The next thing I get batla t-shirt ya ka or hemp ya ka, ha ke tsebe e kae. Now look how this affects the relationship. Irritation. You were doing something out of goodwill. Ne? You were
Mhm.
helping, you were cleaning up.
Mhm.
Ne? You are tidy. You are a neat woman. Good. Tick, tick, tick. But I don't get irritated by the fact that you cleaned. No, I get
Mm.
irritated because you shifted things around, and when I'm late or rushing looking for them, I can't find them. I get irritated. Now, what does the irritation bears? The irritation it bears a situation whereby I shout at you, I scream at you, why you moving towards a kakatu? And then what will you say? Oh, you're not even appreciative. Ke pakile khabota. But that's not the issue. The issue is
Mm.
at that moment I was going through a frustration ya gore ke batla ntho e so and ke tseba gore e mo kae. But wena o
Yeah,
movile with good what intentions. So bathong
yeah.
ask, ask. There's nothing wrong in check a coast. Check a coast.
Hey, but like, okay, Mamela, we're running out of time and I want to cover this one before we do, because I know Horoitikin, we can talk for hours, eh? What do men want? Le batlang, machita batlang, or botse machita. Let us in on this one. Hore machita batlang.
I'm glad you are bringing it last so that I can run away quickly after saying it. Men don't want. Let me tell you. there's a misconception that men go into a relationship for sex. No, 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 no. If men want sex, they'll go for sex. Either way.
Okay.
In a relationship, sex forms a fundamental part of a relationship. But banna ba batlo go rasetsa. Go tjanka, ko ka tsela go tjanka. Ya, 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 ya. Remember, a weak person gets defeated by communication. You must see even in meetings, but about weak, the personalities. Ha ba melomo e motona bo botsang ba bua ko di-meeting, it tends to make us more powerful, more clever, more strong. I said tends to. Ne? So what it
Mm.
does, it defeats the one who can talk. Now, in a relationship, if you are making noise, screaming, forever complaining, and so forth, you will defeat that man and he will run. Men are cowards and are weak. I'm repeating. Now, what do men want? The weaker sex. What does the weaker sex want? Men are like kids. Men are like babies. Attention. Ngwana ko gae. Fela. Attention. Bana ba rata attention. Men love it. How often do women call us and say, "Baby, how was your day? How did things go?" How often do women ask, "Kore, do you love flowers or do you want me to regulate the CD?" It's all about attention. Sometimes other people are smart. They will realize that, oh, this man or other music is a regular CDS also without asking. Then it means you are paying attention to your men. Men love attention and they want to come home, whether ke ko mokhukhung or ko backyard room or ko flateng or ko mentioning, they want to come home to a very subtle, happy environment. We live very stressed life, competition, material, career, money, and everything.
Mm.
Everything. But you don't want to leave those things go fishing and you go home to somebody who stresses you. Women want five things in a relationship and men want one thing. Men want attention. Women want love, security, uh, stability,
Allowance.
respect,
Allowance.
allow, respect, allowance. They want and they want them all. And that is a no go. They want them all. Far more attention, man. More attention. Because this attention, it tlo tlisa dilo tse di ngata. O tlo start o mmona ga ema botsang o ka ra o kere manala maoto. Tla go kere manala maoto go tla go bitsa salute. It's attention. You understand?
Mm.
If o jola le monna o na leng bana, ga ke re o be step mom kankane. Ne?
Mm.
But it is very important once in a while. First, you must know mabitso a bana ba boyfriend ya gotle. Please. Le di birthday tsa bone. Once in a while, how is the child coping at school? One understand. If you can ask me how am I coping at work, why can't you ask me how is the child doing at school? Whether the child lives with me or with their biological
Are these
mom,
men that we're dating asking us about our own kids?
they're supposed to. It's normal.
Mm.
If no, 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 no. If you have a daughter, if you are in a relationship and your man does never ask you about your daughter, I know it's not her child, but ke monna Motswana, e gapua le namana, a ke go rata le di tsa gago. You understand?
Mm.
Yeah, so you cannot isolate that. You remember re simolola go bua earlier on. I said women between the ages of 25 and 45, they are building everything career, family, kids, health, figure,
Yeah.
everything. They want to build. Now, if you are going as a man to extract one of those things from a woman, you actually collapse the pillars, study creatively. And the
Mm.
same with they must do that. If you come to my life, you will realize, okay, but I'm rata politiki. This man rata kwapa, this man rata bana, this man rata this and this and this. Make sure that in between Ojola, you are asking, hey, by the way, how's the going ka golf? Are you doing well ko golf? I get every Sunday morning, one Dutch, Aroya golf.
Mm.
Hey,
Mm.
the handicap, is it improving, honey? O lo find out o handicap ke eng. O ska dula fela ha ntse re bua ka di-handicap o se go and inform yourself gore o mmotsa, are you improving? That is giving
Mm.
attention. That's showing gore
Mm.
you are caring about what excites this man. And bathong
Mm.
banna ba batla excitement. Men are the
Ba
ba
batla ba-
batla o ka re ba batla an excitement. Banna ka re bana ba
Oh.
banyane excitement. Oh, have you been to Cubana and all this other? I don't know why am I promoting Cubana. Kitty the famous one in Konano. But have you seen how men go there? Not because Holo John to go and look at this skimpy miniskirt weaved women by yellow, and they get excited. They even buy drinks. That's really broke. Have you asked yourself why? You think they're in love? No, that's not love. It's
Ke
because they are
excitement.
excited. They're
So ba
excited.
excited ke bo yellow.
se boyelo ke miniskete ke go wa jive ko go motho le o dutse mo le ke banyana ba bantle ba khabisitse tafole. You understand?
Wait, so
But
are you saying at my age, something go about a mini skate
well,
just to excite you in a
if
club?
if that man o kopane le wena wa apere miniskirt, the day you drop that miniskirt and start dressing up like an old Egyptian woman, you will lose that man. He's gone because he knows you can miniskirt.
But I got him
But
off it too. It's okay.
life evolves, ne? At times, on apara miniskirt because you didn't have a child, you didn't gain weight, no sna mkhaba, no sna the silver stripes and cellulites and blah 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 blah. Ne? Now, o na
Mm,
le bana monna o, ene monna o go file bana, then suddenly you don't look the same anymore because you are aging and then you have had babies. Again,
mm,
find a who said cellulite don't now I've seen men ba ratang di-potholes. So it's men but I'll give you cellulite tsa mosadi wa ka. Ke di rata di le yalo mpelegetse bana. You understand? But
mm,
that does not mean you must stop being yourself. At the beginning of our conversation, ladies and gents, remember I said never lose being happy with yourself. Never lose
mm,
being content with yourself. Once you are content, ke problem ya ngwana mme o mong gore a go appreciate a go rate the way o leng ka teng. Simple.
mm. Botsang, airtime how I fed papa. So if I don't catch you, I know it's not gonna end. I'm not
Thank
cutting
you.
you because I'm not enjoying talking to you. I'm cutting you because I'm respecting everyone else's time and the space
No,
I
that's
give
fine.
every
I
guest.
the
I don't want to give you 80 minutes. Meanwhile, I give all my guests 60 minutes. It's not fair.
now
So
it can actually mm,
your parting words. This is my house. This one is
yes.
my house.
Okay.
Botsang, your parting words to the black women and black guys who are either single or in a relationship, the ones that are saying, I'm single, how do I get a man or whatever, and the ones that are saying we are together, how do we bring back the spark? What is
Mm,
your parting words, Nje, for us?
go. It's simple. Go back to basics. Know what you want in a relationship. Be happy with yourself. There's the same thing that brought spark in your relationship at the beginning. Go back to it. Maybe use a different route or way. Go back to it. But most
Hmm.
important, never ever lose yourself for the relationship. then
Yeah.
then it's because the other person is in love with a dime. Ojolale dime. Don't lose yourself. So be happy with yourself first. O tla kgona ho etsa ngwana
Yeah.
mme o mong happy. And how only happy what glow? How only happy glow?
Yeah.
You look beautiful.
Ladies and gents, that was Botsang. I'm gonna put his details on how you can follow him on my timeline. Botsang, please send me an email with your details. If you have a website or where people can follow you. I know you have a book. Do you wanna tell us briefly about your book? But it's a political book, is it not?
No, it's not. It's my biography. There's two more books coming. Another one is important for your
Okay.
listeners. This one is important. I've just finished a book that I will be publishing it immediately after lockdown. It's a book
Okay.
about how customary law has failed people in South Africa, black people particularly.
Mm,
Most people lenyetse mo. Most people ba nyetse, ha ba itse hore ba nyetse. Taba tsa bo magadi, live in together and what. I'm publishing a
mm.
book about it. I'm basing it on real actual life stories, my own life story. I'm basing it
Can
on
we come
stories of
back and talk about something to that context? Something about. Can we come back and talk about living
customary
together?
relationship.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no. Barking. What do they call it? I've had wines.
they
No,
call
when you keep it together, what do they call it in a sense? Like
it mutual cohabitations, masihlalisane.
Maslalisane. Can we come back and talk about Maslalisane? You're not gonna touch on this topic. You're gonna touch on Maslalisane and
Okay,
how do
that's
we
fine.
make Maslalisane work, but also how do we make sure that we both, if we decide to walk
You are
away,
legally covered. You are legally covered.
you know? Yeah, Botsang Naka, how Fedile, like I say, thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining me.
Thank you very
This
much.
was fun. This
Bye.
was exciting. I can't wait to have you back here. How? This guy leaves and I haven't said goodbye. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the comments. There were a lot of comments. Unfortunately, Botsang has left. Our time is up, but I'm sure he's gonna be back. And yeah, thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.